Tech Garage, presented by RockAuto.com, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. This is Tech Garage, presented by RockAuto.com. Tom Taylor's visiting us from Rock Auto. And Tom, we've been looking at this K10 here. This is a vehicle that's almost 40 years old. And we know it needs a lot of parts. How can Rock Auto help us out in finding what we need for this truck?
Yeah, Rock Auto has parts for your daily driver and your classic you're trying to restore, and the K10 is becoming a classic. It's super popular. We have all sorts of body parts, body panels that commonly rust out, the cab corners, the rocker panels. You don't have to try to fabricate that yourself. You just get a sheet metal that fits exactly. I know that's kind of a panic. You know, an alternator is kind of an alternator. You can make one fit any vehicle, but when you're looking at body panels and stuff like that, that's something that a lot of folks kind of freak out about. What am I going to do to replace this part? Yeah, we'll have the parts that wear out like alternators, and we'll not only have the part, we'll have a choice of brands, which is pretty cool for an older vehicle. And the neat thing about the K10, we have a lot of interior parts, things like door panels that you're never going to find in a junkyard, or the dealer won't have it anymore. Well, and that's the chance you used to have to take. Back in the old days, you couldn't find something in the junkyard, or maybe you found it sun faded, not the right color, and that sort of thing. So a 40-year-old door panel, yuck. Moldy mess. Right, yeah, so you get a brand new one from RockAuto.com, and we're talking model-specific stuff. We're not talking about a generic fit, a universal thing. Right, for your specific year and choice of color. So yeah, you don't have to settle for a blue door panel in a green truck or something. You can get the color you need. RockAuto.com has all the parts your car will ever need, and you don't have to compromise. They have the specific part you need for your vehicle inside and out. You know, John Gardner is a professor of automotive technology, and I bet you we're going to learn something over here at Garage Ed.
Well, it's that time, folks. It's time for Garage Ed, and everybody's been waiting for this segment. It's all about the diagnostics. Now, we learned everything about the air-conditioned system, from how it works, the cycles, to the components, but you want to know how to diagnose it. Well, that's pretty easy. You got to get a gauge set, and I have one right here, and it's super simple to use. You can take a gauge set. These are called quick disconnects, and the newer systems have this right here. You just find it on your car. There's a high and a low side. Now, the low side, that's your low pressure side. The high side is the high pressure side. So what I do is take this cap off right here, come over, and simply just connect it. Bam, like that. And then you want to open it up and read the gauges. But you know, Josh, we don't even need that on our high-tech trainer because we have built-in gauges. And boy, you can teach a ton with those. Josh, have at it, brother.
Well, the first thing we're going to look at is our static pressure. Static pressure, static, stationary, not moving. So what that is our gauge readings without the compressor running. So if you look right here, it's about 75 on the low side and 75 on the high side. And that's about where it needs to be because our static pressure should reflect about what the ambient temperature is, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank it up. And what's going to happen is my high side is going to start going up. The compressor is going to be building pressure. But at the same time, my low side is going to be going down because it's pulling from the low side. So when I say high side, I'm talking about the side that the compressor is building up between the compressor all the way up to our restriction, in our case, our TXV. The low side is the other side of the TXV where we have our pressure drop all the way back to where the compressor is sucking in on that side. So let me go ahead and crank it up, and let's watch these gauges. And just as I said, it's slowly starting to climb. The system's getting acclimated, and it's going to start going up. You can see the refrigerant flowing. This side's going up, and our low side is going down.
Awesome. Why don't you shut it off? And you know, we actually have different scenarios, which is really cool. That's what Josh just said. Now, if it's running and it's not static pressure, you can see it usually on the low side. You have around 30, somewhere around there. Now it's going to vary with temperature. It's going to vary with refrigerant, types of refrigerant. Make sure you check your service manual. All right, so 30 is somewhere between 150, 175, 225 on the high side. That's good. Now here's a scenario for you. The low side is a little bit high and the high side keeps climbing higher and higher and higher. What that is, it's a restriction across the airflow that's coming into the condenser in the front of the car. Maybe you picked up a bag, sucked up in the radiator or something. usually the car will be getting hot as well, but both sides will go high or you'll have an overcharged system. Now, if they're both low, well, that's pretty simple. It's probably just an undercharged system. The low side's low and the high side is low. And then you have the last scenario here, which is the low side is high and then the high side is low. And Josh mentioned that pretty good. The compressor's not doing its job. The low side is actually going high because it's not pulling, and the high side is actually going low because it's not pushing. So it's a compressor or a clutch. Now, boy, that's some high-tech diagnostics, but you can get out there and do it right in the driveway. This has been a high-tech show. All we have to do now is go over and let's wrap it up.
I think Ronald Reagan said it best when he said, trust but verify. And I know, John, you do good work, but we always want to make sure our repair was done right.
That's right, Dr. Dave. What you want to do is you actually want to verify the customer's concern to start and verify the repair. Absolutely. But the moment of truth, let's see what happens here, Dave. Let me fire this up.
Sounds perfect. Sounds perfect.
Dare you doubt me,
We
Dave?
never doubt you. We always want to make sure that we're only human.
Absolutely. And what a phenomenal show we had today, Dave. I'm falling in love with that K10 pickup truck, no doubt about it.
We knew it would be that way. It was a beautiful truck to begin with,
Yeah.
and it just gets cooler the farther we get along in the project. And in Garage Ed, we learned about reading gauges.
Yeah, that was
pretty informative stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. You want to read gauges anytime you do any air conditioning work, but you know what? We're out of time for today. But join us on social media. We're all over the place. And Dave, we love to hear their questions and comments. Where do we send them to?
You can email us at feedback@techgarage.tv. We'll try to get your email question on the air.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of them on the air. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been great hearing from you guys.
Absolutely. Well, we'll hear from you next week because that's it from Tech Garage, from Chipola College here in Marianna, Florida. We'll see ya.
See ya. Cool. This is cool.
Yeah,
Looks really
I
good.
love this thing, man.
Oh, boy. Production assistance provided by Chipola College in Marianna, Florida. Chipola was founded in 1947, and it was recently ranked among the top 3 community colleges in the United States.